What is going on, guys? I'm Nick. Welcome back to the channel. Today we're taking a look at the Sheath from Caudabe. We did take a look at the Synthesis, and you guys already know that's one of my favorite cases all time. If you're interested in that case instead, check out that video after watching this one, of course. But today we have to look at the Sheath. I know a lot of you guys are interested in this one, so let's go ahead and get right into it. Starting with the packaging, as always, pretty much identical to the Synthesis. You get a very nice minimal box. Picture right here that shows you the back of the case as well as the inside. The name right here, iPhone 15 Pro. This is the button version, which I absolutely love. It means that there is a full button over the action button. Love to see that. You see the name, the Sheath, superb drop protection, ultra slim design. Of course, I do have the black, but I do have another color. Go ahead and take a look right now. You do see some of the features right here, drop tested to 2 meters or 6.6 feet. MagSafe compatible because every case needs MagSafe. Textured grip because of course you need to have a solid grip on your phone. Thing was expensive after all, but you do also get Caudabe right down there. Really nice hexagon design along the sides, which does kind of bleed into the rest of the box. You guys can go ahead and pause and read this if you would like. Minimalist perfection, because that is what Caudabe is known for. Looking over at the bottom, you can see Caudabe is committed to green initiatives. That means a lot to me. I love to see when companies take the environment into mind. And then you do have their socials right there as well. But that is really all there is for the box. So now we can go ahead and pull this out. It slides out just like that. Caudabe, once again, the design bleeds into the packaging, which I love to see. And as soon as you flap this up, you do get the case right there, which is super it's just, I love this case. Can't get over it. But if you look up here at the top, you do get a little bit of information about the warranty, which is really nice to see. So relax, you're covered. 1 year hassle-free warranty, 30-day returns and exchanges, and they reply within 1 business day. They have always had excellent customer service. So if you have any issues or anything like that that you're worried about, heck, even any questions, they're always right there to help you out. But we can go ahead and pull this case out, and you do get a little pamphlet right here, which is really just showing a little bit more information. They do have some of their extra products, as you can see right here. I'm just gonna fly through this real quick so we can get straight to the case. You get the mezzo for the AirPods right there, a bunch of the other cases, screen protectors, AirTag cases, AirPods cases, some cables, and their charging bricks, which I actually love these charging bricks. They're super small, so really nice to carry around. All this information right here, benefits of buying, as well as their green initiatives. Love to see all of that. But that is really it for this. Some of their reviews, and we can set this back inside, and we'll set all of this over here so that we can take a look at the Sheath. Absolutely amazing texture, you can already tell, and this is a softer material than the Synthesis, which I really love to see. I honestly don't know which I prefer. I go back and forth between the two all the time, and I love them both. But I am gonna do a comparison video for you guys that really just want to pick one so that you guys can get an idea of the differences. But here is the back, of course, little Caudabe logo down there, and you get this signature line across the top. Other than that, it's just all this one uniform texture. Looking over at the inside, we do have something new. We have a very nice soft microfiber lining, and this lining is actually extremely high quality. I would say it's even up there with like Apple's quality of microfiber on the inside of their cases. It is just so soft. It's sweet. So looking at the inside, you do actually have a bunch of text going on in here. Genuine Caudabe product made with shock light. That is the material that the case is made of that helps it absorb impacts. And then you do get your MagSafe ring, a little extra magnets down there. Caudabe minimalist perfection over on the bottom. As for the edges of the case, there isn't too much going on. So it's really all just this one uniform material, as you can see. So that is really all there is to take note of. So let's go ahead and grab the phone, which is right here, the iPhone 15 Pro in natural titanium, and let's just snap this right into the case. So starting with the volume side, as always, a very soft case, a very nice fit, and that is what it's going to look like. It is minimalist perfection is really just the best way to put it. Caudabe just hit it right on the head with that name. It is a great looking case, but let's go ahead and start with the fit test. So making sure the phone is all the way in there. Starting from the side, you can see just a tiny bit of pull there by those volume buttons, as you can see again, and I'm pulling pretty hard. You can see there's really no pull at all. all right there. Moving over to the top, you can see also really no pull going on up there, and at the bottom, a tiny bit of pull, but I can't really blame them. They pretty much give me an extra tab to like pull on right here, and that is just going to help with those slide gestures from the bottom up. And I've noticed they do make it a lot more comfortable than having just like one fat lip right there like some other cases. So this lip, definitely not something to complain about. I actually really enjoy it. But let's move over to the back and talk about these cameras for a second. You can see right here, they are covered extremely well. Right there, you can see that textured lip comes up and does protect those camera lenses very nicely. Just go ahead and do the wobble test real quick before we move on.
I'm gonna set this down
and see if it wobbles at all
while
we're typing.
So down here at the bottom where you're normally gonna be typing, you get zero wobble. Nothing to worry about at all right there. Super nice to see. As you work your way up though, we are going to get just a tiny bit of wobble in that top left corner. Again, really nothing to complain about to an insane extent. Really nice to see. And either way, we're normally going to be typing down here at the bottom. Zero wobble, and I'm tapping pretty hard. But nice to see that there isn't a crazy amount of wobble going on right there. Let's go ahead and move over to the front and take a look at that screen lip. So of course, this is a minimal case, so you do get a more minimal lip, but it is still there. You can see if you're placing your phone down on a flat surface, this lip is going to take care of you just fine. There's not going to be any glass to surface contact right there. The lip is going to eat most of that. I do have a tempered glass screen protector on here, so if you don't have one, you are going to get more lip, but I do recommend running one, and this is pretty much what you're going to be looking at. Now, moving over to the volume button side, you do see you get that line from the back. It bleeds over onto the side, and then you get your action button, which is a dedicated button, and then your two volume buttons right here, which are labeled plus and minus. Really nice to see that. Now, let's go ahead and start by testing this action button. I'd say it's really nice and tactile as well. The action button itself is a pretty quiet button, so you're not going to hear it click like you might hear the volume buttons or the power button, but it does work and it functions extremely well. If I press it right now, you're going to see it holds. I have a shortcut set up, so if I do hold it, it's going to ask for my password, but you can see it is working. It does function perfectly fine, but that is pretty much what you're going to be looking at. These buttons do all have slight air slits cut in, as you can see right there. You can see the color of the phone bleeding through the case in case that is important to you. Now let's go ahead and test out these volume buttons. Extremely nice and tactile. They feel almost identical to the Synthesis. They are textured, so it's really nice to see that. And I would say they're not super soft that you're going to be getting accidental clicks, which I don't really like when that happens, but they're not super stiff either. They're just enough, they're just right, where you get that action of, okay, I pressed a button, you're aware that you made the action. Super nice to see that. And then of course, just like the rest of the case, the bottom is textured. And then down here where the ports are at, this is the only non-textured surface on the case. You can see the texture kind of cuts off in that little crescent shape on both sides. And then this part down here is smooth. Now this, I know a lot of people were kind of confused by, they didn't really like it, but I really appreciate it because when you're holding your phone like this and you have your finger down here, you don't really want all that texture digging into your pinky. So it's nice to see that this smooth, soft material is what's going to rest on your hand pretty much. So really appreciate that. And then you can see you get a very generous cutout for that USB-C port and some accurate speaker and microphone cutouts. There's a plane flying overhead. But moving on to the power button side, you can see right here, you keep all that texture. Power button is textured as well. And then that line bleeds over the side as well. You do also have air slits in this button. So let's go ahead and test it out. Extremely nice and tactile as well. A really great button. I've never had any complaints with Caudabe buttons. They've always felt very nice. Now moving over to the top, you can see it is a completely closed top, and then it's really just all that texture. Nothing to complain about over there. But of course, we are going to have to test out some MagSafe, and I have been running the case. I already know what to expect, but let's just go ahead and get right into it. Starting with the Spigen OMAG ring as always, which is a phone grip and stand in one. Snap this right on and shake this. Okay, we did get a little bit of a drop there. And you can see we do have to shake pretty hard before we get it to dislodge itself just like that. So if you get some really rough shakes, you can get it to slip, but definitely nothing that's going to happen in normal use. Down here where you're tapping away, you can see that is not going anywhere. Move back to center. And yeah, this is definitely nothing to scoff at. Some very nice magnets going on there. I do have, well, this accessory has a silicone back on it, and I do think that helps adhere just a little bit to the material. I always look for accessories with silicone backs like this. They just tend to be higher quality, and you do get that little extra bit of adhesion. But moving on to the Apple battery pack, which also has a silicone back, we're gonna go ahead and test out wireless charging as well as a little bit of MagSafe strength. You can see it does wirelessly charge just fine. Now moving on to the back. You can definitely feel that strength. It does take a little bit of force to actually pull that off. And we do have to check just to make sure. You can see that that battery pack just barely comes into contact with that camera lip. So if you have anything larger, you do want to be careful. It might sit on top of that lip. It might end up looking something like that. If you have a bigger battery pack, not really the case's fault. That's mostly just because of the size of the 15 Pro. If you have the 15 Pro Max, really just forget about it. That's not really an issue you're going to have at all. Or the 15 Plus, anything like that. But just for the smaller phones, something to keep in mind for sure. Now doing some false drops. Okay, we did get it, started off pretty hard, but we did get it to fall off right there. And there it is. I actually think the MagSafe strength is a little bit better, just a little bit better on the Synthesis. So if you only care about MagSafe strength, go for the Synthesis. I can probably say that already, but even this is still really impressive. Most of the time I can't get that hard of a drop off of this and keep the battery pack on. So nice to see that. But we do also have to test a big one for me, which is going to be that MagSafe wallet. It's got to be able to pass this test right here. Snaps on just fine. We do get that nice little animation. And let's see. This is the only accessory I'm testing that does not have a silicone back. It is all leather along the back. So let's go ahead and take a look. This one does not interfere with the camera lip. So nice to see that. But again, the wallet, it's not really something you need to worry about there. They're not really that large. Doing some false drops. Did get it to snap off just there. There it is again, but we're doing pretty hard hits and it tends to hold its own fairly well. So I'm not too worried about it. I do trust the case with this wallet. I know that these magnets are a little bit weaker than the Synthesis magnets, but they're still way stronger than a ton of other cases that I've tested out. So definitely passes the MagSafe wallet test. Now we do have one more, and that is going to be this Base One MagSafe Charger from Nomad. It is a 5-pound, I believe, stand from Nomad, and you can see it is an all rubber bottom with a metal body, glass over the top, and a MagSafe puck integrated right there. So we're gonna go ahead and snap this on. You can see it does MagSafe charge just fine right there. And now we're gonna go ahead and see if this case can lift this base all on its own. Only touching the phone right here, we're gonna see if it can lift it. And of course, not even worried, it definitely can right there. You can see, I'm gonna go ahead and try this with one hand, slide the hand over the top. And you can see it comes off the desk just fine. We're gonna see if it can turn it on its side. It definitely can. And just a tiny bit of a shake, tiny bit. There it is. See, just that little shake, but that does go a very long way. So definitely nothing to scoff at. These are definitely some impressive magnets all together. But I did say we had another color, so before I end this one, I do want to show that off. And of course, just like the Synthesis, it does come in a very nice blue right there. I'm going to throw the phone in there just so you guys can take a look at what it looks like on the natural titanium phone. This one does also have a blue microfiber lining. Really nice to see that there. MagSafe strength on this one is exactly identical. They are the exact same case. Only difference is that color. If you have the blue iPhone, I think this is going to look absolutely phenomenal. But let me know what you guys think. Do you guys prefer blue cases? I always go with black cases. That's just me. Even though I have a pretty much a gray phone, the black cases just really tend to stick out to me, but this is what it looks like. Honestly, it could kind of grow on me, but that's really it for this one, guys. I'm gonna pull this out just so you guys can take a look at the cases themselves, and we'll call it a day here. That is the Sheath from Caudabe, one of my absolutely favorite cases. But do you guys prefer it over the Synthesis? I really want to know that, because I think I prefer the Synthesis. I love this case. I'm going to keep it in my daily routine, but sometimes that Synthesis just looks at me funny and I got to put it on. But that is it for this one, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, remember to like this video. And if you want to see more like it, or you want to see the comparison of the two cases, remember to subscribe. It's going to be coming out real soon. And I hope that you all enjoyed it. And I hope you guys enjoyed this one. Any recommendations for cases, accessories, anything you want to see on the channel, leave it down in the comments below. I try my best to respond to all of you guys. I know it might take a little bit, but please be patient with me. I will get to you, I swear. That is it for this one, guys, and I will see you in the next one.